Monday, November 18th, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 2019. Guys, in this video, we're going to take a look at some very unusual phenomena in the Southern Hemisphere and the Northern Hemisphere. I was looking for a video I received about a week ago from the Southern Hemisphere about a black object in the sky. And I found the video sent in by Jeff, which matched perfectly with something observed 9,400 miles away in the skies above North Georgia. I'm going to share that with you guys here in a moment. Plus, I've got a lot of interesting sky phenomena to share. But first, we're here at Extreme Weather Taranaki out of Western New Zealand. A gentleman by the name of Craig sent me some photos from this Facebook page of smoke arriving from Australia to Western New Zealand. Said he'd never seen anything like it. And you can see the plume of smoke coming from Australia going straight to New Zealand. And right there it is. Here's the email that Craig sent me from Extreme Weather Taranaki. And again, like I said, he'd never seen anything quite like that in the sky. Smoke traveling all the way across the ocean, 1,200 miles, making its presence known in New Zealand. He goes on to say, "Hi, I live on the west coast of North Island in New Zealand, New Plymouth. I saw your video this morning and thought these photos may be of interest. I took them for my weather page," and that's the page I just showed you, Extreme Weather Taranaki. "It looks like the smoke from Australia has arrived in the clouds. It was an eerie sight and one I've not seen before. Cheers, Craig." And I received that email yesterday, and you can visit the Facebook page right here. You'll find a link below in the description box. When I was down here looking at the smoke traveling from Australia to New Zealand, there's a location just off the coast of Sydney by the name of Manly, right in here. And in Manly, from Manly, I received a video from a gentleman by the name of Jeff of something in the sky. And when I saw the video, it's from a few days ago actually, it reminded me of something a gentleman sent me back in August. A strange black object up in the sky above North Georgia. Then I see a video of the same thing 9,400 miles away, all the way down here in eastern Australia. And you can see the same object, and you're going to see a video and many pictures of this same object that are an identical match, at least the best I can tell. So we're going to start off with the strange craft right down here in Manly, Australia. Again, this video was taken and sent in by Jeff L. Check this out. It's got some narration.
Looks like a flying saucer.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, it does.
What do you think it's here as
It's
a
not a
southern
bird
hemisphere?
because it's rising. Is that what they look like, the flying saucer? I've not seen them on pictures and videos, but...
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
No.
Notice the shape.
Yeah.
It's black, kind of got a octagon shape to it.
That's not how aeroplanes or helicopters move. They don't rise.
It's difficult to tell if it's 6-sided or 8-sided.
That's just,
I don't think that's a helicopter.
that's just moving another way. It's not...
Yeah, but that's definitely not an airplane. It was rising straight up. Here's a close-in view of this object, and you can get a much better look at some of the features. It didn't really have any lights on it, but it reminded me of what you're about to see of several pictures I received from North Georgia. A gentleman by the name of John. Right here's one of them on the left, and this is me zoomed in very, very closely. He noticed this object 9,400 miles away from eastern Australia all the way up into Johns Creek, North Georgia, which is north of Atlanta. And here's the photos that John sent to me, John R. He took these back in August on the 23rd. It's difficult to see, I know, but it was way up in the sky, probably around, I don't know, 15,000 feet. Notice this structure up above it. Looks like something up there because he said the wind started blowing in a circular motion just out of nowhere, and then he noticed this object and the wind stopped blowing. He observed it for 15 to 20 minutes. He said it traveled many tens of miles still in his visibility. And I'm going to share the pictures with you, and you're going to see it's a nearly perfect match with the object from down in eastern Australia. Here's some extended views. These are the original photographs. I've just altered the light and contrast a little bit, showing you what looks like the outline of a much larger craft, and the smaller object, whatever it may be, that he noticed, to me looks like it could have came from something bigger up above the clouds. You can definitely see an outline of something right there. It's just undeniable. Round feature there, perfectly round, some sort of a, see right there, you can see what looks like a, I don't know, it looks like a intelligently designed structure. Now we're going to zoom in. See the similarities to the object down in Australia? They look almost identical in color, in shape, and in size. The one in Australia was much lower. This was probably 12,000 feet, maybe 15,000 feet. I'm heavily zoomed in on this thing, as close as I could get without becoming too overly pixelated. And I'm going to show you a comparison side by side of the object observed in video format from Australia, and they do seem to be of the same mold, but they're in opposite hemispheres. One was in the southern hemisphere, one in the northern hemisphere. Here you go. Let me stop it real quick. That's Australia. There's Georgia. I know the one on the Georgia is very pixelated. There you go. Much better look. And you can see it's got definitive sides on it, top and bottom. This one here also. And it's rising. It's not moving right to left. It's rising and turning. And these objects were observed 9,000 miles apart from each other, but yet they look almost identical in nature. So great observation, Jeff, and great observation, John. John, I've had that material you sent me since August. Good job. Strange shapes seen in the Phoenix area night sky. This article is from ArizonaFamily.com, and it goes back to November the 14th, I think, the night of November 14th. And I looked in my email, and sure enough, someone from out here, this is just east of me, about 10 miles. I didn't see this as the moon was coming up over the horizon. That's the Superstition Mountains over there. Gentleman by the name of Jeremy noticed this also. And this is a photo that he took even closer up than the article has right there. Those are a little farther away. Jeremy must have been on the 202 driving, quite possibly even closer than that, and noticed this strange looking object in the sky. It looks like a triangle in the sky above the moon. There's a little, this is another photograph. I've just adjusted the lighting and color just a very little bit. Here I've completely inverted it. And you can see it looks like some sort of giant trails in the sky, but for whatever reason, they form a perfect triangle above the moon. And then at one point, you can see in the article, it looks like the moon was inside of the triangle shape. That drifts away from the moon, and then the moon's got a big halo around it as it comes up over the horizon. So, very interesting night indeed. I wish I would have been out there. I would have also been taking pictures of that sky. Back to the black object just for a second. Sean B. from Catoosa, Oklahoma also noticed a couple of black objects in the sky. One was a helicopter, and the other one, they said, looked like a triangle craft. This one up here. And this one was a helicopter. So I just wanted to share those with you while I had them up, because we're looking at black crafts that we can't identify. And these two here, this one here definitely, she said, was a helicopter. The other one, not so sure. So interesting sky out here in the Phoenix area that had people clicking their cameras. Now we're going to take a look at some new sky phenomena that have been shared here recently, and I've got many, many more that I'm working on. Nick B. from Golden, Colorado. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful sunset. Look at the contrast there. And I've done nothing to this photograph. That is as I received it. Great job. Carl H. from down in New Zealand. What looks like some sort of an eye in the sky. Check that out. There's a photograph he sent in for comparison. That's the photograph he took on the right. Excellent observation by Carl from New Zealand. Our King from St. Charles, Missouri, of an ominous looking sky as storms were rolling through the area. Chris R. took this photograph we've already seen as he went through Kansas, but I want to show you something else right here. This is new. This is a photo here taken by Jackie M. as she was flying over Turkey, and she noticed this unusual shelf cloud that looked like the Earth was going into a cocoon. And from the ground, this is what it looks like. I was just using this for comparison. Chris was driving through Kansas, saw this over in the United States. Jackie, flying over Turkey, sees the same thing, but from above. Look at that. Looks like Earth is going into a cocoon. Nick S. from Tucson, Arizona. Vertical rainbow in the sky from southern Arizona. Melbourne, Florida. Sent in by Ruthie. Sky just absolutely loaded with color. Pine, Arizona. Starlyn and Danny. Another sky loaded with an abundance of orange and yellow clouds. Lena M. Irish Sea. Purple clouds. Orange, purple, gold. Glendale, Arizona. Michelle. Big halo coming up over the horizon. Excellent photograph. Much like this one here out of Michigan, sent in by Matt. We've got that donut in the sky again. I don't know how that happens. Ian H. I'm not exactly sure of the location, but a big giant orange cloud in the sky. Kind of hard to miss. Johnson City, Tennessee, sent in by Heather B. of what looks like a triangle-shaped object in the sky. Not necessarily a craft, may or may not have been. David and Jessica from Wisconsin of a sundog off to the right of the sun in a halo. Newcastle, Delaware, sent in by Danielle of the same thing. Sundog off to the left of the sun. Crystal Ann out of Oregon. Close-up of Jupiter and some of his moons. Got one behind that you can't see. Normally you can see 4. Sunrise with some very high-profile beams coming up over the horizon. Huge beams at that. Beaumont, Texas, Gary. What looks like a big set of alien eyes over there in the sky coming up over the horizon. Beaumont again, out of Texas, another big jumbo halo. Been seeing a lot of those here lately. Kelly T noticed something that she said she had never seen before. Got up to take her son to the school bus, looked out the backyard, noticed a small rainbow in the backyard. Very low to the ground above the patio, or actually lawn furniture. Look at that. Absolutely incredible. Seeing big rainbows, small rainbows, triple rainbows, you name it. Western Kentucky, and of a unique looking cloud here going straight vertical in the sky. Much like you see here, this one was sent in by Kerwin. And I'm not exactly sure of the location. Kerwin sent me several pictures. Ontario, sent in by Richard B. And that's of yet another sundog, kind of tucked in the clouds. Like you see here, Fort Worth, Texas. Linda of a sundog off to the right of the sun, very low on the horizon. Tulsa, Oklahoma, Jeanette, after the sun had already went below the horizon, got a multitude of colorful clouds. Texas, Henning K, another big halo with a sundog as he's driving through the great state of Texas. Athena, you've got the sun peeking through the clouds, and it looks like a triangle-shaped craft. Fayetteville, Texas, Trevor B. of a beautiful sunset. Incredible. Another halo from right out here in Arizona. This was taken up in Scottsdale, sent in by Laura. It's not quite a perfectly round halo like we're used to seeing across the top. It's got more of a, I don't know, a straight line and then a halo inside of it. Got all kinds of activity going on there. Great observation, Laura, from Scottsdale, Arizona. Finishing up the slideshow with a jumbo halo sent in by Ray. And that thing is absolutely spectacular. Good observation, guys. You are wide awake and on the ball. Keep them coming. If you have any photos you'd like to share, you can send those to reports at MrMBB333.com. All of your photos will end up at the Sky Phenomena Photo Gallery. Sometimes I will use your photos in a photo slideshow, just like you saw right here. Thanks for watching. Have a super day, and be safe out there, guys.